Hello everyone, Siege Link here, back with hopefully my final episode of the first mission of the Greek campaign in Empire Earth. So I'm all set to start sailing. The time for emigration has come. So I'm at max out supply here. Got 3 transport rafts. And everything has max out upgrades. And I still got quite a bit of resources to spare. And the reason for that is actually because I knew it came to a point where I just needed to gather some resources to ideally upgrade everything up. And I was like, this is going to take some chunk of time. It's not that necessary, but like, I might as well do it. So, because I've got to do the barrels today. I have a pretty big driveway and it's up a hill as well, so it's kind of exhausting. So I'm just like, you know what, I'll just leave this on for like 10 minutes and then come back after I do the barrels. After I bring them back up. And yeah, sure enough thing, I had about like 700 of each resource, with the exception of food. And as a result of that, I was able to upgrade everything up and have enough to max out and still have plenty of resources left in case something goes wrong. And I just realized 3 transports is likely not going to be enough here. But still fine, I can make another one. Actually, I can't because of my supply. It's still not that big a deal. I don't really need all these citizens. In fact, I might just let one die. You can just hit a delete to do that. There's actually one point I remember playing through this again where I was like, "Oh no, I accidentally made too many of this like unit." So now so I think it was like I couldn't get any transports or anything. So I was like, "Wait, did I just lose this game because I'm not able to make transports?" But then I didn't realize at that point. I've never used the delete key in that regard, so. Okay. So because both these guys have to survive, I'm going to put both of them in the same one. And I'm going to split up my army and citizens so that if one of like these 3 dies, then I'll still have like a good spread of each unit. So let's start out with military units. Okay, I think that should be good. If I was treating this like a real life scenario, I would take one of these guys out and put in a female. But there's no real need to. Now, I did explore a tiny bit, and I did see a patrolling unit over there. I'll spread it out a little bit more. Yeah, look, this still seems like I can't fit any more citizens in. I'm gonna have them just mine here and then I'll come back for them. No man left behind. So I saw a patrolling ship over here. So I want to lure them back to the dock. Because the dock can be used as like a hospital in this game. You can just heal your units if you're around it. Yep. I have also upgraded my warships, so in a 1v1 my warships will win. So I don't even really need the dock. See, slowly but surely, those guys are coming up. I'm gonna put these guys in aggressive for now. Yeah, when they say the deep waters, they're talking about down here. I am going to be doing this a little bit differently than usual, because I want to get the extra points so I can do pop cap and still have some spare points, because you're going to need every little bit of points you can get in these campaigns. And this is on easy difficulty as well. Like, the AI does not mess around in this game in the campaign or in the random maps. It's not only that they cheat, but they're also pretty smart compared to some other, like, really easy difficulty levels in other games. So we're kind of just scouting out the coast. Yeah, so ideally they want you to land here and then settle, like, over here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what I did, like, originally when I first did this and I didn't know exactly how it worked, which I'll explain later. Which is I'm going to land here and then take out the Dorians, which is a village of horsemen. Okay, so I'm pretty sure there's no escorts left. Or there's no, like, defending rafts left. Yes, that's just woods. No man left behind. We're coming back for these citizens here. What I do want to do is actually group all these citizens up in one group. Put them on 6 since I don't need to make anything from the archer range anymore. So yeah, here's a little path. So just up this hill is their village. The Dorians. Green horsemen.
Yes, great one. My lord Heracles, strange warriors from the north have set upon us. And they ride horses, a most fearsome sight to behold. We must defend ourselves.
This is why you want spearmen and you want the shock defense. Ooh, just in time. houses die very quickly to these guys. Yeah, so with maxed out guys and a decent chunk of spearmen, and with Warcry, it's pretty easy to defeat the Dorians. So there's no real reason not to.
The Dorians have been vanquished.
So because of this, you can go over here and get 5 more points. Definitely want to do this, not just for the 5 more points, but also because I've not seen a single video on YouTube where anyone does that. I've got 1 extra point, and there's very few things you can do with 1 extra point. Most of them are useless, like here you can get build time for profits a bit less. The one thing I will say that is semi-noticeable is this right here, Citizen's Attack. There's also like a Dorian guard coming down here. So generally the way most people do is they just cross directly horizontally and just land here. And that's how I originally did this. That took me like, I think like 4 hours or something ridiculous when I was young. Was that I landed here, and then I went up here, destroyed these guys with just slingers, because I wanted to use just slingers because it didn't cost me any food at all. And slingers are terrible versus them, so that was terrible. And I kept Calchas and Heracles at home, because I wanted to scout and not risk just losing the game from them dying. I didn't want to take a single, like, super big risk like that. So I scouted out this entire land, and, like, no special, like, cutscene or anything happened. No word saying, like, oh, this is the land you were searching for. I kind of knew it was, because I, you know, scouted out the entire, like, map at that point. But I'm like, you know, nothing's triggering. Nothing's telling me, like, I have to do this, or I have to do this. And the reason for that was because I didn't have Calchas or Heracles, like, there. And then when I replayed this game with, now that I have GOG, something weird happened. Something I didn't remember this happening, but it said, we have found a new land to claim, or to tame, but we must bring Heracles and Calchas. And I don't remember that originally at all, because that would have been, you know, kind of a light bulb in my head, like, oh, I just gotta bring them here. But that never happened. I was like, do I need to bring them here? And then I didn't. All of a sudden, everything triggered when I already discovered exactly where I need to go. But usually I'll land here, but now we're gonna come from up here.
We have reached the land called Thessaly, but we dare not settle just anywhere. Let us search for a high plateau where we can safely build our new village. I will know the right location when I see it.
Talas, Carlos.
Yeah, so there's like little pockets around the forests here where Dorians will pop out of. So you can see, because there are like foraging patches, you can survive here for a lot longer. But I think historically the reason, like, why, yeah, you can see these little pockets
This
here.
shall be the site of our new village. We must build a settlement and a barracks on this high plateau, as we learned from the people of Troas. A plateau is more easily defended against enemies.
It's not much of a plateau though, is it? It's like a tiny, I mean, we went downwards to it. It's just a little bit of a plateau from here. This is like a proper plateau. This is like a giant hill. For the heck of it, I think I might also, no. Yeah, not even certain. Yeah, I can't actually even build these buildings. I don't have quite enough wood yet. And this can be kind of the issue sometimes with things like this. Like, oh yeah, you have to go to a completely new area, but you might not have the resources to do stuff. So that's why I built up a lot, but I was using a lot of it on somewhat unnecessary upgrades.
They have made known to me, in a vision, that we must build a temple where we can worship. We shall construct this temple on our new Acropolis, in addition to the buildings Heracles wishes us to build.
Talas.
Yeah, so you can see from my pop cap, it went from 50 to 57. So I can actually make some units now if I want to.
Pote. Talas.
Just gonna scout out for any more of those Dorian pockets. Oh, just like a little bit of a patrol. So usually you'll pop over here and take this little path up here. That's how most people play this, because they don't bother taking out this village up here.
Yes, great one. Death to the heathens!
These ghosts actually offer a tiny bit more food than the other ones do. I could build an archery range just for the heck of it, because there's not really any need to say like, oh, you must build a archery range, because then you would have to go into the Stone Age for this mission, and it's not really that necessary. You can, but it's, you know, not too much of an advantage or too much of a disadvantage to do so. For now, I'm just gonna end this mission. That's gonna be it for this first. That's gonna be it for the first mission of the Greek campaign. Any second now.
Talas.
The future of our new village is secure. Let us tame this land and call it our own.
Now, just like with all missions in Empire Earth, it'll show you the full map afterwards. So you can see just a lot of hills. Just a lot of just kind of nothingness. Just a lot of just excess forests. So we started here, a small little area. And then we had to take out this big village, much bigger than ours, but we had just enough resources to do it. Take the dock. Usually just go exactly horizontally, but we wanted to go up here to get those extra civ points. Not really that necessary, but even in the Greek campaign, every little bit helps. So that'll be it for this first episode of Empire Earth. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the second mission.